Pete'sTools.com.
G'day guys, Pete from Pete's Tools. How are we all going today? Another beautiful day on my side of the planet. Hey, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I shouted myself one of these little pilot arc plasma cutters, and I've been playing with it for a while now. But I've noticed it's got a knob on it, a post flow knob, and that affects how long I can actually cut for, because I'm only running this on quite a small compressor, and if you have that knob up too high, your cutting power just seems to drop right away. Anyway guys, I'll show you what I mean. Same as usual, you like the video, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say g'day at Pete'sTools.com, and let's get into it, eh? So guys, I'm talking about this knob here. See that guys, it says post time, and that actually alters how much air comes out of your plasma torch for how long. So in other words, it alters how long the air stays on after you stop cutting. Now if you got this set to 0, or as far back as it'll go guys, and you pull the trigger, you wait, see how long it takes. See the air just stopped then, it wasn't too long. What the air does after you've completed your cut is the air runs through here and it cools down your consumables, and the idea of that is that you don't burn them out so quick. But the more you turn this up, the longer it takes for that air to stop. Yeah, I'll show you. If I go up about that much, see how long that took? And that's only about a quarter of the way up. So if we go all the way around like that, so did you see that guys? The compressor actually started when I wasn't even cutting. So if you're only running on a little compressor like I am, then the trouble is, the longer you turn this post time round, the shorter cuts you're going to get, because you're going to have to wait for so long. And if you're making big long cuts, then you need a lot of air. But if you're only making really short cuts, then I would just turn that right back to about the minimum. So you get a couple of seconds of air, cools it off, and then you can start cutting again. Otherwise you're going to be waiting all bloody day for your compressor to catch up. See guys, if we're only cutting like 5 or 6 millimeters and we're only cutting a really sort of short length, you don't need a long post time because you're just wasting your air. It's all very well if you've got a big compressor and it doesn't really matter, but if you've only got a little compressor, then you can run into all sorts of issues. Here, I'll show you. See that? That took about 3 or 4 seconds for the air to stop. But if I had turned that up halfway, then my compressor would kick in again before I can even do the second bloody cut. And it's a right pain in the arse, well I think it is anyway. But if I was doing a really long cut, like I was doing 1 or 2 foot, then I'd have to turn the post time right up so I could cool my consumables off. So in other words, the shorter you cut, the less air you need to come after you stop cutting. Another clear as mud instruction video, Pete. Same goes for when you're cutting thicker stuff guys. The thicker stuff you're cutting, the more post time you're going to need for your consumables to cool down at the end of it. Otherwise you're going to run into trouble with you overheating your consumables and you burn them out a lot quicker. Like if I'm cutting this, which is 1/2 inch, I would have my post time of probably 10 seconds, just to give the plasma tip enough time to cool down before I start a new cut. Notice how long the post time is when I cut this through. Here we go. Still going. Still going. See, it's cooling off the plasma cutting consumables. There we go guys, that was about 10 or so seconds, how long the air went after I stopped cutting. So what that does, like I keep saying, is it just keeps cooling off the consumables. See, they're still hot to touch, but I can put my finger on it like that and I don't get burnt because that cold compressed air has quickly cooled it down. Whereas if we don't have that air going through, like we shut it off too soon, then it'll make our consumables only last half as long. So it's really, really important when you're cutting quite thick stuff like this. Shit, that's hot, Pete. See that guys? So that's quite thick, it's about ½ inch. So that's really making the little machine here work. So what you need to do is cool down those consumables as quick as possible. But it's, like I say, it's a double-edged sword, because if you're only running a little compressor, then you've only got a finite amount of air, and then you can't do everything at once. So it's just a bit of a playing around, see what works best for you, where you can still cut what you want to cut, but you can also still cool down the consumables. So guys, that was everything you didn't need to know about post time on your plasma cutter. But like I say, if you've only got a little compressor, it's a right pain in the bum. Well, I think it is anyway. Same as usual guys, you like my videos, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say good day in the comments below, we can have a bit of a yarn. If you want to see a review on this machine, check up here, I'll put a video up there for you. If you want to try some flux core welding, check the video up here. First time I've ever tried flux core welding, have a look at that, it's a bit of a laugh. See you guys, bye.
Pete'sTools.com